Welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Podchaser, Rumble, Geo-san, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kardashian talk, no Kanye talk, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests to that end. If you missed the show with the Waltons or any of my other classic TV, we are on show number 885. And it is 565 consecutive weeks on the air, almost 10 years. And I'm so grateful to all of you and all the guys at KCAA for supporting this show because they said it couldn't last. Well, they're wrong. And I'm so grateful for my special series, especially this one, which I get to play and pretty much be titillating and irreverent first thing in the morning. Please welcome back to my show one of my favorite co-hosts, my favorite male co-host, my only male co-host, but my favorite male co-host, Sam Works. And this series is called Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa Ann.
Sam Works.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, darling. How you doing?
I'm happy and grateful. Let's go right to breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
Those of you who are new, I see eyeballs rolling in. Thank you for joining us. You can actually put your gratitudes in the chat so we don't have to do quite as many, but we try to start every show with 8 specific gratitudes, the top of the bun of my gratitude sandwich, and then 8 appreciations, which is the bottom. So things outside of you that you like, appreciate, and then things about yourself on the bottom. Because I like it on, do I like it on the bottom? Anyways, the bottom of the bun, which is 8 appreciations of who you are. And that way we can start our day on the most positive note and have an amazing day in between the top and the bottom. So, Sam, what are you grateful for?
You know, I'm really grateful that it snowed at my house this morning.
What?
Yeah, it snowed in Yucaipa and Cal Mesa. You know, it always puts a smile on my face when I see snow on the ground. So,
wow. Who says that it never snows in Southern California? Well, new song. And it never snows in Southern California. Okay. I am grateful that I have Sam as my co-host and that I have had the honor and privilege and pleasure of having him as my sound engineer now for how long? How long?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah,
all right.
something like that.
Something like that. And today is his last day as my sound engineer. I need a sound effect. And then the good news is he's still my co-host and he'll be coming back. That's going to be fun because his friend is my other sound engineer, Polly, and he's going to be running the boards and Sam's going to be co-hosting still. So don't worry, be happy. He's still going to be here, but that's going to be fun because I can't get Polly to talk normally, but maybe you can get him to put in his 8 cents worth during the show.
Oh man, I don't know.
That'll be funny. Go ahead. Your gratitude.
I'm grateful that I have coffee that can go with the snowy day. So when I'm outside, I can enjoy both temps, the cold and the hot.
I'm grateful that I have a hot co-host.
Was that Monday co-host or Friday co-host?
That's Thursday co-host. I have all of my co-hosts are, I've got Alon, you met her, was it last week?
Yeah.
Right? former Playboy model, and way more than that, but that's what Sam remembers. That's on Friday. I've got a new co-host that wants to come on the show with you she said anytime, and she's on Tuesdays, first and third Tuesday. You'll like her too, because she's a fitness expert. She's on TV. She does another show as well. So Beth Linder Moss, but she's married, but she's still, she's got a smoking hot body because she works out an hour every day. That was her deal with her husband, that if she was going to have children, she had to have an hour to herself to work out. Right? I knew that would impress you. So she wants to come on. Maybe we'll have her next week. So, and then I have the dream expert every second Wednesday of the month. I have Yorona Boster, who I had yesterday. She just lost her brother. She didn't lose him. He passed, and she came back from Florida after burying him and wasn't going to do her show. And I said, you know what? Come on, and I'll be the soft place to land, because she usually does grief coaching. And so I did a whole segment. And what are the chances? This is a what caught moment. What are the chances that I had someone's eyeball on the show who also lost her brother February 3rd? And so I was able to do that exercise with them. And it was I hope that if you know anyone who has experienced loss, which we established, it's not a loss. It's never a loss. They're not gone. They're just not in their physical body. Then please do get that from my YouTube yesterday. Somebody messaged yesterday and said, you really should submit that for an Emmy Award, which was very nice. But because it's so helpful. People get stuck in grief. Yeah.
That's good on your end, because now you helped multiple people out, and everyone else who's been listening and stuff. So bless your heart,
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Is that one of your gratitudes?
Yeah, that's one of my gratitudes. Okay, your turn.
I get it. Okay. I'm grateful to see the friends in my high school that I haven't talked to in years in their careers and occupations. One of my buddies, who I haven't seen since high school, is now a police officer.
Did he pull you over?
No. Did he pull you over? No. Someone stole a catalytic converter underneath someone's car, and I saw it right after he did it. Like, he took the jack from underneath the car, hopped in his car, and took off. So I called the cops, and then my buddy's the one that showed up, and I was just smiling, thinking like,
OMG,
he did it,
That's what caught again. What are the chances of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That the one responding, did you get his license plate?
So it's funny, because my dad was like, hey, because he used to be a police officer as well. And when I was younger, I don't know if he said get the last 4 or the first 4 digits of the license plate, right? So I was looking at his license plate, and I was like, okay, I was like, wait, is it first 4 or last 4? And then as he was driving away, I looked at his back license plate, and his front and his back did not match. So now my brain's just all jumbled up. I was just like, okay, I can't remember any of it now. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, at least you have the description of the car.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm grateful to see my boys doing good. So.
Yay. That's great. My last gratitude for breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
You're on it today. Look what came in the mail.
Zoom in just a little closer.
That's the inscription.
Lifetime Achievement Award, Dr. Marissa.
And look at how beautiful she is. I've never had such a beautiful award, and it's super heavy. Like, it's like 10, 15 pounds.
Wow.
And it's solid. Is that the most beautiful, beautiful award? I'm getting it presented on Monday on the air.
Oh, wow.
On camera. Yeah.
Whose camera? Your camera?
My camera.
Okay.
In the studio. Yeah, he's going to be my guest to present it live.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is my 19th award. I'm so, so grateful. So that's a huge, big gratitude that takes up like 8. But yeah, I wanted to show it off, um, just to invite everybody to the ceremony, which is on Monday morning. Yay! All right, now to the bottom of the bun. What do you appreciate about yourself? What do you appreciate about yourself? And I do this because a lot of us who have had childhood trauma have a very strong critic. And because we were told that we were bad, or, why don't you do this? And I would be happy if you did this. We developed this. We can't love ourselves unless somebody else likes us, approves of us, loves us. And that's the biggest BS belief system bullshit hockey there is. And so my particular message for the rest of my life is trying to reach those who grew up like I did and don't believe in themselves. And the way to believe in yourself is to start approving of yourself. That's what self-care starts as. So this exercise, the bottom of the bun, is about what do I like about myself? So I'm less likely to go around going, who loves me? Who likes me? Literally, how many likes am I getting? That's all irrelevant. The most important person to approve of yourself is you. So what do you like about yourself, Sam?
I like that I can resist temptations. Now, in
Oh,
some cases, I do cave in. I'm not going to lie. But recently, I've been saying no to myself about the things that I want to do, which would not benefit me. And, I woke up this morning feeling good. I was like, good job, Sam. So,
good, good. I appreciate my ability to give myself atta girls. And that's also atta girl instead of atta boy.
ah,
So when I finish doing my laps in the pool, I say, good job, mama, or when
nice.
I got off the bike this morning, good job, mama. And so, the one thing, but last night I have to confess why it's really, it's like an obsession. I almost wish we went back to regular weekly TV shows, because when there's like a series, it's 1 o'clock and I'm watching like stupid stuff. But you got to finish the series, and I don't know. I didn't have a TV for like 7 or 8 years, but I can't say anything because I have the stupid computer. I mean, nice computer, but I have this. You got to watch the end of the. Anyways, I'm not going to shit on myself. That was a non-appreciation of myself.
That's funny.
I appreciate that 88% of the time I am disciplined and I do what I know is good for me.
That's good.
Your turn.
I appreciate that I forgive most people in my life. I forgive, but I don't forget. And bringing my friends back together again, I think that's very important. And I go out of my way to make sure it happens. So
Nice. I appreciate that I have recently learned how to ask for help. So tomorrow I get my left eye operated on. For those who didn't know, I have a PCS PSC, posterior subcapsular cataracts, and I am ageless, and yes, I am young for but I was young for having hip replacement, so I don't know what's going on. But I go in for the left eye, and it's a little more dangerous than normal cataracts. I lost 65% of my sight in 2 months because the cataract attacks both the front and the back of my lens. So they don't allow you to be picked up by an Uber or a taxi. So I had to actually ask people to pick me up, which I don't like doing. Like, I'm all self-sufficient, independent, blah, blah, blah. And I am recently realizing that it's not a bad thing. It's not a sign of weakness if I actually ask for help, and people feel good when I ask them for help. At least that's what they're telling me. So I appreciate that I'm learning how to do that.
They should feel honored that you asked them for help.
Oh, yeah, you would say that because you're like too far to help me.
Well, you never even
You
called
live
me. How would you know?
because you're so far. I wouldn't make you drive an hour and a
That's your
half to,
excuse.
huh?
I said that's your
Uh,
excuse.
okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Just kidding. Don't hold me on to it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Your
funny.
turn.
Okay, I appreciate that I have given myself time blocks in my schedule that seem to help me so much when it comes to getting stuff done throughout the day.
Fantastic. And I appreciate, last but not least, that I love to laugh. It is cardio for my soul. It feels good. And that I know I'm funny. My husband told me I was not funny like every other day. So I own my funniness. Sometimes it's just me laughing, but that's okay. It's a great sound. And that is it for Having Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
So I am happy that we are going now to transition. Let's give ourselves a little affirmation. And Sam, what are we talking about this morning?
Confessions. Right? I think that's what you put on the details.
True confessions. I know. I don't. What was going through my head when I know what was going through your head, but not saying which one. But what is the craziest thing that you have done in the name of love? ... bracket lust and bracket ha ha ha. So I thought this would be fun. It doesn't have to be R-rated. We'll start non-R-rated, and then we'll see where we go with that. But
okay.
I think it's a testament to my constant embarrassing myself and living out loud, because I don't know, if you can't laugh at yourself, I mean, why live, right?
A day without laughter is a day wasted, right?
Very good. Very good. So I'm going to let you start.
Actually, Dr. Marissa, it will be my pleasure for you to start. You are the host. So
no, you're the co-host, and this is your last day as my sound engineer. So okay.
We're just going back and forth here.
Yeah, I know. All right. So, and feel free to help us feel not so like embarrassed by putting your most embarrassing. There are eyeballs in the studio. Not sure if they're from my LinkedIn, my Facebook, or my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is my show central. So if you're listening and you're driving and you're listening to me on AM 1050 or FM 106.5 on KZAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. You see how I did that station ID in there? Then you can go to my YouTube channel and type in the most embarrassing or the most crazy or the most funny thing you've done in the name of love. So this is an easy one. This guy, I was at a bar. This is when I was still drinking. And I was ageless then, but a little less ageless than I am now. And this guy sent over a drink. And I was, when someone sends over a drink, I take it as a compliment. I say to the server, who sent me the drink, and she pointed out, gentleman sitting by himself, okay, across the bar. So I walked over with a drink because, I want to thank him and see how cute he is. So I went up to the table and I said, "Thank you very much for the drink." And he said, "You're absolutely welcome. You're beautiful." And I said, I went to cheers him, and uh, he doesn't have a drink. And I said, "Oh, you don't, can I, get you a drink?" And he goes, "Actually, I'm only 19." So I was complimented, but 19. Come on, that's way too old for me. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh,
So because he's not drinking, he's able to buy someone else a drink that's over 21. Is that how it works? Or
I guess so. I didn't know that was, you know, doable, but I guess it is. It was in San Diego. Maybe they have different laws down there. But I thought that was funny. Now, of course, that's not in the name of my love, but that's in the name of crazy someone else's. Okay, your turn.
I mean, so when I was younger, because I do age, unfortunately.
You're 23. That's like so funny when he says that, when I was younger. Yeah,
So
when I was two.
I had a crush on this girl, and my I can start being able to sing now. Like, I'm getting better at singing. I can hold, like, my voice up a little bit, but especially when I was a kid, I didn't go through puberty yet. That's how young I was. And she said that she likes guys who sing. So
Uh-oh.
I decided to sing for her, and I didn't even know how to read body language back then, and I sang in front of her and all her girlfriends, and they were all laughing, and I thought that they enjoyed my singing, but then come to find out years later, we brought up our past memories, and she said I was horrible, and I never
Oh.
sang in front of her again. I was like,
Oh, did
thanks.
you ever sing at all in front of anybody?
No, that was the first time. First time. Besides
And
church, obviously, but yeah.
okay, did you sing after that? Did you ever do karaoke after that?
Well, I do karaoke now.
Oh, good.
If that
I
helps
just
you.
wanted to make sure that you weren't scarred.
No, 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 no. I just realized, there's certain songs I can sing, certain notes I can hit, and I sang
That
this song called "Beautiful Girls" by Sean Kingston. I don't know if you
Sing
know
it.
that song.
No,
I'm
sing
not.
it.
No, because that's the song that I can't sing. So if I can't sing it back then, why would I sing it now?
Because I want to hear if what you've improved at.
I don't know.
No. Well, okay. What do you sing for karaoke?
So typically I sing country songs, and that's
Uh-huh.
because, like, I can go, like, low in my voice, and
Uh-huh.
it's not really like projecting, like, singing. So I can go low, but I can't go high.
How low can you go?
I can go down pretty low.
How far down do you go? Oh.
All the
Sorry,
way
sorry,
to the
sorry, sorry.
toes, and that's something that not a lot of people should know about. But yeah.
Do you have okay. This is again not me, but I dated, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. I actually have gone out on a date with oh gosh, what is the name? What is the Chippendales? So when I was modeling in New York, I went to a Chippendales show, and one of the dancers who did a lap dance on me as part of the show uh,
Mm.
um, actually asked for my number, and I gave it to him, and I dated him actually for like more than a handful. And I mean, he was hot, like hot. And I I broke up with him because he had a foot fetish.
Really? You
Yeah.
can't break up with somebody over a foot fetish?
Well, it was just uncomfortable. Like that's the first thing he would look at. Like the he would the I used to have these gorgeous the one downside of having bad hips and hips don't lie is I can't wear my killer heels. And I had this one pair of Dior high heels. It was like the Dior monogram, and and he just loved those shoes because they cut the my toe, so you see the toe line, the toe cleavage, I guess they call it.
Ah,
Can't believe I'm talking about that. Um, so I mean, that was all he was interested and consumed, and yeah, that's all he paid attention to. So it just got a little old. How's
that's
how's
pretty
that
crazy.
for? Is that crazy? Is that
Yeah.
crazy? So I mean, is that what you have a foot fetish like that?
I don't have a foot
Oh, okay.
fetish.
I thought you said that you do.
Well, here's the thing. If someone like I'm more of a giver than a receiver, right? And if you tell me what you like, and I get this a lot, like I explore, right? That's what I do. So if you tell me what you like, and I'm more than likely not gonna back away from that. I'm like, okay. And so as long as you got clean feet, we might be okay, And
Oh, the visuals, the visuals. Yeah, some people have like not beautiful feet.
yeah,
And so it's when that is happening, I'm like, I
I would
that's
not.
not a that's not a turn on for sure.
Yeah,
For
definitely not.
sure. I mean, guys getting pedicures is a good thing,
I
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get pedicures. Um, one thing I did do. Okay, so that was my first time singing to a girl, and then um, my last girlfriend, I gave her a lap dance for the first time, and like I didn't want to be amateur about it, right? So I looked up videos and like how to lap dance, and
Wow.
you know, she gave me 2 weeks because it was her birthday coming up, and so I really practiced lap dancing. And honestly, I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. So when we went to Lake Havasu last year, this girl was getting a lap dance from like a bunch of guys for her birthday, like on stage. I was like, y'all suck. Like I wanted to go up there and like show how it's done, but you know what? It's more for me. It's more for like a private session. Like I'm not gonna do it
Oh,
out in public.
I
So
don't know. I don't know. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Next time I'm in studio with you,
nah, you're funny.
we're gonna have you sing a karaoke song and do a lap dance.
Same time? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
Yeah,
two different. We can spread it out. First we do the song, and
this
then we do the lap dance at the
right,
end. I'll
right.
make sure I don't schedule a meeting after that. How's that?
Okay.
Want to welcome my Instagram peeps. CP13 just checked in. You are backstage with Dr. Marissa and Dr. Marissa and
Sam works.
this is Straight Talk with us every Thursday morning out of the Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa show, the morning show on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. And the topic today is
Confessions. What was the first word? Not just confessions, but
true
true
confessions.
confessions.
True confessions, the crazy ash things that we do in the name of love, dot, 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 bracket, lust, end of bracket. And if you have your own story, we are collecting them on the comments. I have, I don't know if I can tell that one. Somebody just messaged me, didn't want to put it in the chat. So we will revisit that possibility maybe when it gets a little hotter. So I will say Um,
Have you
uh,
ever gotten in a confrontation with someone because of, the person you're into?
like example, elaborate.
All right, so I guess I'll share my personal experience. So
Okay.
I had friends come over one time, and long story short, I thought because everyone was drinking, and then like everyone was to the point where like they were blacked out. They shouldn't have been that drunk, but it is what it is. And I had like suspicions of like my friend trying to get at my girl, and it got to the point where like at the end of the night, I was kind of like I was crying. I was like, dude, I want to beat this fool up so bad because of what he tried to do. And I'm not gonna like get into details with this, but anyway, so I was mad at her and I was mad at him. And so what happened was, I stopped talking to her for a little bit, and then I hit my boy up, and I was like, we're gonna have to throw down, bro. Like, and I never got in a fight before in my life, and I was like, we're gonna have to throw down because like you disrespected me at my house, you disrespected me personally and my girl. Like that ain't happening. And like when I told him, he felt so bad, like to the bottom of his heart. Like he was blacked out drunk. He had no idea what I was talking about,
Mm,
but he accepted it, and he was like, I'll meet up with you. And I was like, all right. And he did not throw a single punch back. And I just kept
really?
and I just, you know what I mean? Like I felt so bad because like I kept telling him too, like I was, you know, attacking him, and I was like fight back, and he was like, no, because of how bad he felt. Like he's like a brother to us.
Hmm.
And it took
That's a sad
him.
story.
It is a sad story, and honestly, like I knew it felt bad. I knew that he felt so bad because I can just tell, and also like he was pretty much not like literally homeless, but he was a bum for like 6 months because of how hard it affected him. Doing something like that to like one of his like family friends. And
Hmm.
then I forgave him, and then I forgave her, and like everything's okay now. But like I just felt bad. I didn't want to do that, you know.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I
Yeah.
didn't want to just let it go.
Yeah. It's funny why do we do things that we wouldn't normally do when we have those feelings of love or lust, and it's that it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you're not normally stupid or you're not normally like nutso, but there's something in that like love, that feeling of love that I always say, it's a good thing. It's something you can't get with your parents or your kids or your friends. It's a special kind of love. It's a special kind of intimacy, eros intimacy, agape, unconditional love. But that the danger zone, I'm thinking of that karaoke song now. It's really like, why is that? What is it that happens in our hormones or chemistry, body chemistry? That'd be a good study. I wonder, I'm sure somebody has done that study. What happens?
Mhm.
I'm going to look it up. What happens when you have those feelings of lust and love and connection that gives us um, the stupidity or the bravery or the no fear to do something kind of silly?
Right. Well, while you
Yeah.
look that up, I guess I'll
Yeah.
also tell you what I've done. I also went broke for somebody.
What?
Yeah.
Saying.
Because, like, this person had a particular lifestyle that she liked to maintain or live. And I was going to join the lifestyle. And so it was just like, I went broke. And it took a while. I'm not going to lie. It took me about 6 months before I was like I literally can't do anything with you anymore because I just don't have the finances. Like you made me broke, but not her. I can't blame her. I made myself broke by trying to live that
Mm.
lifestyle. Um,
Mhm.
What did you find? Did you find anything?
Yeah, when people fall in love, they experience a surge of hormones and neurotransmitters that make them feel good. This is Dr. Foreman told Insider. Such chemistry overrides our logical, rational thought, she says, which can lead you to do things you might not otherwise do. So it's interesting. I'm looking for I knew that, but I'm looking for a physiological. Let's see
Mm.
if there's these are not necessarily scientific
All right. Well, I'll tell you another story.
places.
This
Yeah,
one's
yeah, do.
so this one's so like you should have just smacked me in the back of the head because this was not called showing off. This was not called being cool. This is just stupidity. Okay.
Okay.
we got we got frozen yogurt one time, and I can't eat like a whole bowl or a whole cup of frozen yogurt. So I'm going down the boulevard, and I'm done with my cup, and my
Go ahead.
stupidness, I was just like,
Yeah.
I opened the door. I was at a stoplight, and I just put my cup on the boulevard. Like I littered, but I just like placed it on the floor, and then I closed the door. And then this car came up next to me. He rolled down the window. He was like, "Hey, you dropped something." And I was like, "What?" I'm waiting for the light to turn green so I could just take off. And he's like, "You dropped something." And then I was like, "Oh, thanks." And I picked up my frozen yogurt cup and I put it back in the car. And I looked to my girl on my right, and she started cracking up. And I was like, I don't even do that. I don't litter. I don't like to litter. When I see trash on the floor, I pick it up and I throw it in the trash. Like, I don't even know what made me do that. I was just trying to be cool or something, but it was not cool at all. It
That
was
is funny.
embarrassing.
That's embarrassing for sure.
Yeah.
So I found one, the
All
Harvard
right.
medicine good. When love and science double date. Sure, your heart thumps, but let's look at what's happening physically and psychologically. So let's see if we can do this. Richard Swartz. Here we go. Love turns on the neurotrans. Okay, wait. It raises the level of cortisol, a stress hormone that's been shown to suppress immune function. It is proof that love makes you physically sick. Isn't that weird? Love turns on the neurotransmitter dopamine, which is known to stimulate the brain's pleasure centers. Couple that with a drop in levels of serotonin, which adds a dash of obsession. You have the crazy, pleasing, stupefied, urgent love of infatuation. Isn't that interesting? So it is a physiological change. Wow. I didn't know that, and I'm glad I know that now. Interesting. So we can blame it on the hormones when we do stupid things. So let's. So the one that got messaged me was places that you have done the do that you wouldn't normally in your right mind.
Okay.
So that's pretty crazy. Hallway,
For you?
the hallway. No, this is
Oh.
in here. Hallway of an apartment. This is my friend. Not with me, but a very I she's out there. She's really out there. She has less fear than I do. So that's saying a lot. So hallway, bathroom in a bar, Mile High Club. That's in an airplane for millennials who don't know that term. So those were her top three. And I am going to be I'm gonna plead the fifth on what I've done. What's the craziest place you have?
I'm at the plead the fifth too.
Ah,
Honestly, I mean, we all had our fair share, and I do have like a bucket list of like places that I want to, do it at as well.
Really?
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Why can't you say that? You haven't done it yet.
Well, it's just like, it's gonna make me sound like trashy or something, so I'd rather not. I don't want.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want
Okay. Is
people.
elevator one of them?
No.
Okay. Okay. Just
But
curious. I don't know
okay,
why
if
that.
it was gonna be an elevator, it would have to be like spontaneous, like just all of a sudden, like it can't be planned. It can't be like, okay, let's just take it all the way to the top floor and see how fast or how, like, no, that's definitely not.
That's a whole new definition of speed dating.
Yeah, for real. You just got to make sure you hold the closed door button the whole time while you do it, because once that door opens,
Yeah. It's all over.
yeah.
I can't believe it's 8:46. This is what
Yeah.
happens when we start getting talking. Um, I will admit that I have done it in a car, and it's like, why would you even do that? But I guess if you don't have an apartment and you're young, or you live at home with your parents, that is a place that, whatever. But okay, I'm going to get serious for a second, just in case there are any women listening who I was triggered to remember to say something about this when you were talking about I'm a pleaser and I'm a giver and I'm the one who, does I want to make sure my partner is pleased. And I started this whole series, which this is an offshoot of sexual healing with Dr. Marissa. When I was on once a week, every last week of the month, I would do this specific series because I was one of those women who um, uh, needed some sexual healing, intimacy, sex, lust, all of that. I've shared on this show before. My first time was horrific, and it was, just a bad first time. So, that kind of ruined me for at least a year. Because of my body dysmorphia, growing up being told I was fat and ugly and believing it. I also am am working on being more comfortable, but uh, at base point, I'm not comfortable with that the way I look naked, and because of all those things, I would say that I was a giver, but actually it was because I was so uncomfortable doing the do and receiving that kind of attention. Like, uh, I have to give it to the younger women these days. They know what they want, they know how to feel pleasure. Take a breath, hoping that whoever's being addressed by the fire is going to be okay. Um, so my intimacy was, I would say I'm a giver. I like to please, and I would do everything and make sure he was satisfied, and then they would try to satisfy me and we're good, and that is still something that I work on because of the discomfort I feel with my body or the way that I feel naked. And that is, still something I don't know if I'm better or not because it's been a while, but I know that that is something, it's my job to do something and to heal from that. Because even when a guy says, I want to please you first, I'm like pulling him up by the ears and it's okay. We're good. It's, let's get. And so I want to say that as what's the craziest things we do in the name of love. And that is not a good thing, and it's not necessarily an embarrassing thing, but I want to throw out a happy 88 challenge to all the women who may be in that non-happy boat for pleasure and orgasms and feeling good about being intimate. Let's not allow our own crazy, unhealthy uh, so hard on ourselves, women's tendencies to rob us from pleasure, which is a gift of life. There you go.
Yeah, and if you're not in the right mindset, like if you're like insecure about your body and stuff, even if they do end up, trying to pleasure you, because of your mindset, it's not going to feel as good as if you were just enjoying it and taking your time and you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it, and it's funny because I thought it was just me that had that issue, and the more I was open about that, the more women were like, "Oh yeah, that's why I don't date," or "I already had the love of my life and I don't want to," and every time I close my eyes, I can only think of him, and so it's an area where a lot of us women, not just women, but many women can work on to feel better. And I've had a, I've had guests on. There are sex therapists who help with that, but I think it does start with your. That's all self care, right? It's
Right.
another area of self care. If you love yourself enough to think that you are worthy of uh, um, ex, what is that word? Not exhilaration, not orgasmic, but what is that word? Ecstasy, not the pill, but that ecstasy is just as much of a right for us as women as it is for the traditional, the guys that have a really huge sex drive.
Mm. I was with someone and like the first time we did it with the lights off, right? And she was okay with that. And then the next time we did it, it was like midday. Can't turn the lights off. There'll still be light. And then when we were taking a shower together, she was like, you saw me with the lights on. I was like, and? And like her face just lit up, big old smile, because she wasn't really confident in her body. That's why we did it with the lights off first. And it wasn't like, hey, let's turn the lights on, we can get it on. It was just like the lights turned on or lights turned off, and then it just ended up happening. So like after she saw that I didn't care what she looked like in my eyes, like her confidence went through the roof. And after that, it kind of like healed herself from feeling like the lights have to be off every time, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah, and that triggers in me two things. One is I would encourage men to um, really overdo how much you uh, desire and how hot and how, I said this, I think it was last week. If I could see myself as a horny guy, then I'd be a lot better off, because I'm so critical when I look at my body
mm,
that it's almost impossible for me to think that somebody could be turned on by it. Crazy. Working on it. The other thing is, no matter what a guy says, if you don't feel like you are desirable and attractive, it doesn't matter what they say. So that's two reactions I had. So the work is both. It starts though with here. I mean, I have to. I'm getting there. With the weight that I've dropped, it definitely helps. I don't look in the mirror and go, you're disgusting, and you let yourself go, blah blah blah. But it's still not. it's and this is the downside when you've modeled and you have those pictures and you post them and people are like, wow, and it's like, yeah, but I don't look like that now. I got to get over that.
yeah, I think the things that I hated the most in one of my relationships, like she was probably one of the prettiest girls I've dated, but she didn't think she was that pretty. And I would tell her every day, like first of all, it would take her forever to get ready because she's trying to look the prettiest she can be. But it's like you're ruining yourself like physically and emotionally and even spiritually thinking that you're not who you are. You know, like you are pretty, but then she just like she would literally break down because like her perfection. You know what I mean? Like I was just like
Mm,
I couldn't handle that. Like that was literally just too much for me. I was like I can't believe this is happening.
mm.
And that's the one thing that I don't miss in that relationship for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing it from a man's perspective. That oh gosh, that reminds me. Maybe this will be the switch for me. Um, People that think that they are like anyone else can heal, anyone else can be forgiven, but I cannot be forgiven, or I'll never get this, or I'll never be worthy. I will say to them when they come to me for coaching, that is pride in reverse. Like, what makes you so special that you're the only one that is in the bottom of the barrel? Like, that's pride in reverse, right? So maybe that will be the switch for me. Why do I think that I'm the only one, or that I think I'm that unattractive with my clothes off that guys are going to yell with their hair on fire away from me? Like, that's pride in reverse. It's like a negative pride, right? So maybe that'll help. But I think that you just put your finger on one of the things that women have to get better at. There's a photographer who took pictures of the 50 most beautiful women in the world. And I always forget his name. I'll have to go look it up. But when you see the woman, and on the opposite side is, in quotations, the part of the body that that woman does not like about themselves. And it's like crazy because they are, by world standards, the most beautiful women, right? And so that self-critic is so damaging. But
Yeah.
like you were saying, it can push people away. That's why I say have a guy day, right? No male bashing. It's just men are better at seeing themselves in the most positive light, right? Not all men, men with insecurities that are more like women, that most women, not all women. I'm so glad the younger generation is not so bad at this, but most women that are ageless in my generation that use Botox and so much plastic surgery to try to look that way, it's like we think we're fatter, uglier, and not as smart than we actually are. And most men, not all, think they are better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. So women, have a guy day. Let's stop making ourselves feel.
Sorry.
You want us to look up?
No, I gotta close the show. We got 2 minutes.
Oh man, that was funny. What's your last word as you're walking through, giving us seasickness?
My last word is don't go
Final
away.
word.
I'll be here next week.
Yay! That's a good word. Well, I hope you've enjoyed laughing with us. We actually ended on a teaching moment, which is always fun, because I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 more happy people in the next 8 years, and intimacy and body image and sex and relationships are an area that can, it's a good 30% of your happiness quotient in your life. So that's what we dealt with today. I'm so glad that you joined us. This is Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa Ann.
Sam Works.
Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. If I'm too bad for surgery, I will be putting on my show with Alon Carter and Sam from last week. But remember, go and have the best day ever. Bye. See you tomorrow.